Hey gang, welcome back to Simple Living Happy Home. I have 9 days off. I am on the end of day 2 of my 9 days, and my plan for these few days was to work on a pretty big landscaping project. But let me take you outside and show you where I'm at. So we live on a pretty busy road, so don't mind the car noises. And I will fair warn you that I am really bad at remembering to do befores. Show you what I've gotten done as of today. This is our deck off of our garage, and we have landscaping that runs all along the garage there, all the way up. Now, this section of the landscaping I added since we added the deck last year. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be, I've worked on yesterday taking up all of the red wood mulch that was in here along this landscaping, and we're going to be replacing it with black, which I'm really excited for, and I'm going to show you on the other side the portion that I was able to already get done today. I'm really excited for it. It looks really nice. This line here, that is actually going to be where the new edging sits. I actually got rubber edging, and I'm going to show you what that looks like over on the other side as well. But that's going to be all the way along here. That's going to follow this string line till here, and then it's going to jut over to the deck side. And then I have this plastic flexible edging that I'm going to bring all the way along around to meet up with the rubber edging over on this side. So this area still needs to get the black fabric, landscaping fabric underneath here, and then I'm going to cover this whole area in black mulch and all the way down along and behind those plants and probably under the front edge here as well. This is the other thing that I managed to get done today. So this, the ground here on this part of our lawn is actually sloped down. So at the one end over there, it's about a 6-inch step, which is appropriate, and that's a standard step. However, on this end, it's a 12-inch step, and you can see we've got some supports and some bricks under there to make sure that the deck is level. So what we've actually done, don't mind the dogs, is we have taken, and this is something I got done today, so we're taking these landscaping pavers, and I am kind of keeping them level with the deck. So I'm adjusting the height of the dirt underneath them, filling in around the pavers, behind them and in between them with a decent amount of dirt, so that way they're really secure into place. And then on top of these, we're going to be adhering some retaining wall caps, is what they're called. And so those are going to go on the top of here. They're about 12 inches deep. So they're going to go all the way to the edge of the fascia on the deck there. And they're going to come out about 1.5 inches or 2 off of the front of these retaining wall blocks. So it's going to make a nice step. This area here, you can see, like, I've taken big hunks and chunks of dirt out, and this is all just kind of like bare ground. We have a ton of sand and silty soil that does not hold moisture. It does not retain nutrients. So this area never really grew grass very well. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be making some concrete stepping stones through this whole area. And then in between those stepping stones, and the reason why I actually dug it down a little bit, 1, to get rid of the sod that was there, but 2, because I want to fill in around the concrete stepping stones in this area with some good black dirt from my parents' farm. So then hopefully, crossing my fingers, I can get some ground clover seed and have that be my ground cover in between the spacers. And this is what I did today, is this section of landscaping. So this is the deck on the back side of our house. And this is the rubber edging that I got. I believe it was from Home Depot. And it has like these 4 sections in a strip. It comes with 4 pegs for each one of the sections, so that way it gets secured down really, really well. I'm not a huge fan of how I ended up doing this corner, but you know what? We're gonna make it work. And then get the rest of the edging and the mulch down through that area, so then I can focus my efforts in this space on those concrete stepping stones, because this is going to be a big project. I actually didn't really grasp how big of a space I was giving myself until I started putting down this black edging today, and I kind of started like really seeing like the outline of the space and going, oh dear, this is big. This is a lot bigger than I had envisioned in my head. I have one more thing that I want to show you guys because, well, I just can't not. I don't know if you guys can see, but say hello to our 6 new additions. These are the new chicks that we got last week. They are Calico Princess chicks. We have 6 new baby chicks that are hanging out in here. They are probably at least 4 to 6 months away from actually being able to lay and growing like crazy, and now they're actually trying to fly a little bit, and the other day I found one on top of their water, so hence why I put the chicken wire here, because I don't want to have to try to wrangle chickens, because that doesn't sound like fun. Hi guys, this is day 2 or 3 of the landscaping project. As you can see, I'm pretty filthy, but we have made some pretty amazing progress today. So here's where we're at. We got the black edging, that rubber edging down all along here, all the way down to the end there. And we've got the black mulch now worked in to all of these spaces in between the plants. Big beautiful hosta. So I've still got some mulching to go here. We ended up running out of the fabric, the landscape fabric, so my husband picked some more up so we can kind of finish the stretch here, and then I need to put the landscape fabric around this whole area where these hostas are. There is plastic under this section over here, so I'm going to put the mulch down in this area because I don't need to worry about putting any more landscape fabric there. But that's where we're at with this. The other thing that I got done this morning is this area, and I'm going to still want to do a little bit more trying to level this off a little bit because it does slope quite a bit. But the other thing I did was I actually got the pavers here, or the landscape block. I actually got those kind of packed in really good. I got the dirt filled in behind and in between them. So these are ready for the retaining wall caps that are going to go on top of these. And then this step up to the deck will be complete. It's been a good day. It's been a productive day. And I'm really happy with how far I've gotten. He also picked up some more of the plastic landscape edging stakes for the plastic edging that we've got around the area that's going to have the stepping stones. So he picked some more of those up for me too, because I ran out yesterday. Probably going to get done with the landscaping today. I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to try to start working on the stepping stones, because that is going to take me a while, because I need to figure out the right consistency for the concrete, and then I need to let the concrete set a little bit before I pull the frame off. Otherwise it's just gonna ooze all over the place. Alright, I'm officially done for the day. I'm not gonna do any more. We did a lot today. Here is the end result. Look at that. All the way down. Still got some boxes to pick up. Look at that. It's not perfectly straight, but we were struggling with some uneven ground too, so. But all the mulch is down. And I think I used up all but like 3 1/8 of a bag. And then I actually finished up the plastic edging. So that is complete all the way around. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to day 4, I think. Day 3 or day 4. So the big accomplishment from yesterday were these. These are my concrete stepping stones. I'm really happy with how they're turning out. So those will eventually cover this whole area up here. Today, once my husband gets home, we're gonna head over to town and pick up the retaining wall caps to finish up the step next to the deck. And then I'll be coming back out and working on more of the stepping stones. But I'm really happy with how the stepping stones are turning out. They are looking really nice. It's actually kind of funny. The part that I hate the most about doing these stepping stones is not carrying 60-pound bags of cement mix. It's not having to mix it. It's not having to lay the form down and all the kneeling and everything that I have to do and the up and down. The absolute worst part about this is how much I have to get my hands in the cement and then wash them off so that, well, I don't have cement covered hands. Because with the in and out of water so much, my hands are so raw and dry. Oh, they hurt yesterday so bad. I think I put on probably 5 or 6 coats of like Palmer's cocoa butter on my hands, and then I still had to put more lotion on just before I went to bed. This morning they are feeling better. They're not as tight and kind of achy and prickly, but that's honestly the worst part. Like, I'll carry the cement bags all day. I will shovel and mix the cement, but in and out of the water, and my hands wet and then not, and wet and not, just that, oh, that stinks. But I've been very, very pleased and very impressed with my pooches. They have actually been doing a really good job of staying out of the landscaping for the most part, aside from that one little incident. And then I've had to yell at my other dog a couple times to stay out. But yeah, so far it's going quite well. I'm really excited to get the rest of this area covered with the stepping stones, because this is the area that one of our dogs decides that he needs to take his daily dust baths. So if we can get this finished up, then we won't have such a dirty dog in the house. So this is no longer my week off. I am a couple weeks past that now, and I didn't manage to get all of the stepping stones and stuff done that I was hoping to, or to get everything documented that I was also hoping to. So I was just working out here for a little bit and figured I'd show you guys where I got to today. So I don't know if you recall from the first few videos, but this area here was much deeper. It was sloped much more. I just got done bringing several wheelbarrow loads of dirt from one of my clay flower beds. Brought that over here to kind of fill this in a little bit so that it's a little bit more even in front of that step. We did finally get those retaining wall caps onto the blocks for that step. I'm really happy with how that turned out. That was definitely an example of, if you get the foundation done really well, it will save you so much work and it'll make the finishing go much faster. Because when we got the caps back, we just had to put the glue down, make sure the retaining wall block was cleaned off really good, put the glue on, and just start laying them. And it went super, super slick. They're nice and sturdy. They do overhang just, you know, about 3 or 4 of my fingers worth, which is perfect if you're, you know, stepping up onto it. But they're really nice and solid. They're really nice and level. And so now the ground is a little bit more consistent with in front of them, so that it's not as dramatic of a difference in how much you step up from the one end over here to the other end. It's still a difference, but it's more of a, still within the realms of a normal step. All right, I do have some more of my concrete stepping stones done. You can see there's a couple here that I tried to repair. That one is just going to be a lost cause. We have a 65-pound wrecking ball of a pit bull who just, yeah, bludgeoned these poor things. So I tried to kind of repair a couple of them. We'll see if that ends up lasting. The other ones over here, what I ended up doing for these was actually just mixing up a couple bags of concrete in the wheelbarrow so it was nice and thick. And then I just took my shovel and plopped a few scoopfuls down and smoothed it out and shaped it. And that's what they ended up looking like. And I'm actually quite happy with that. So I've got, obviously, from here all the way through the rest of that area yet to do. My husband already picked up some more concrete to be able to do that. But I wanted to get the dirt over here and the ground a little bit more, not necessarily level, but more of a gradual slope, so that way the step was a little bit better on that end. All right, guys, this is the final end result of my stepping stone project. You can definitely tell where I started and kind of how I progressively changed how I was doing it. Our dogs have run through here multiple times, so there's some dirt on the stepping stones at this point. But now the next step is going to be for me to bring in some black dirt and put that around the stepping stones, and then I'll be able to plant my ground clover, and then that will grow in between the stepping stones and create just like a nice area to walk on. Thanks so much for coming along on this journey that took me a bit longer than I wanted it to, but you know, it's done now. So now we just got to get black dirt in here from my parents' place, and then it's gonna look really different once the clover starts to grow. So hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you soon.